Great and beautiful morning and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 329th edition of Investdata Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll tell you that the market, across the globe has shifted from a positive sentiment or a missentiment we have seen to now to what has shifted to seeing a risk sentiment early this morning as most of them are opening. We have seen that investors are finding it difficult to see a straight appreciation in most of the market. We are seeing the mistrend already, but this tells you that as investors or market player in this domain continue to react to information being dished out from their regulators or statistical department and all those stuff, and also what is happening in other regions, especially what is happening in China, happening and also in US, influencing also global decision for investors, knowing that this global market, there's a way they interwove, or the way that they interplay. What is happening in US has a way of influence what's happening in China market. What is happening in China market has a way of influence what's happening and also in Europe market. Asia market also, you don't forget that in Asia market you have India there, Japan and all. Also what is happening in these different zones has a way of influencing activities. But as we speak now, all eyes on what on Canadian job reports. And don't forget that there's already a panic because of we saw that Apple suffered like 2 days straight decline. That also has sent signal to Asia market. As speak now, Asia market, tech stocks are also kind of slowing down because of what they saw in Apple. You can see how I said that this has a way of what interplaying and also influencing other domain activities. But as we speak now, Asia stocks are still in the red on the weekend. Japan also Japanese data they release their also their economic activities. These are also what's affecting the market, and also the US and the China, kind of digital, I know that hit, and also the tech industry have not left that market to settle. There are still some expectation that regards to the data that came from US and also that of China, the possibility that the US are likely to also to hike rate, like as one of the NPC members have said that still that all eyes are still on economic market data, but a pause does not mean the end of what a cycle. But they are looking at to bring their inflation to as low as 2%. You can imagine what it is, and also in that note, we are seeing that other instruments like U.S. Treasury bill, we have seen the Treasury bill or yield also is down. Nearly all of them in different years are in red as to speak right away. And also US market are for straight 3 days now. That it has also closed in the mission. Why we are seeing a major indices there closing for straight 3 days in the green. That means today being the last trading day of the week, we expect that most of this market will close will close in the red. And I said it earlier that when it comes to market or looking at your chart, when you see that there is 1 day up, 1 day down, that does not signify any trend at all. You need to also create that kind of market with caution, and also know that make sure that your goal, your investment objective, also is also guiding you to make sure that you are remain that within your goal, and make sure that you are moving from one point to the other, looking at what is happening in the market. It's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind, because it's going to help us to know how to address issue when it comes to world trading. But I believe that this Asia tech hit, as Apple loss has also caused those trend there in that region. But the good thing again is that India stocks differ from the trend we're seeing in that Asia market, so that Indian stock also gain, on a strong gain because due to what the positive June quarter GDP report that was also released kept investors largely positive for that market. You can see that it was attention was moving toward to Japan before now, but now you can see that it's also moving now toward to India. And don't forget that Japan will see a slowdown after Japan have recorded almost 33 years high, in terms of new, but now profit taking and also the kind of economy that is emerging from Japan is also affecting sentiment in that industry. But if you look at what is happening in Europe, Europe we saw a positive industrial operation data that came from that zone. That was what really made that market, as to speak now, to edge up as speak or a kind of inch up in green this hour because of this data. That's why most of the country in that zone also are having a rising inflation, but the zone GDP also came up better than expected in that zone. These are the things also, I mean zone, like the total GDP for the zone, but individual countries like Spain, Germany was seeing that inflation in this domain are also rising. But when the production data came from that zone, that data gave insight what is happening around that zone, that there's fear of recession or fear of the production data looking negative was the fact, because we saw a negative data from that zone. That gave a market sentiment positive for that European zone as we speak now. As an investor, these are the things to look at, because we know that it is these data or this information that will guide you to know where you should pitch your tent, and I believe that's what is happening in that environment. And you must not invest outside of this, because it is what we expect that will play on what will play on the on the on the sentiment, and also this, especially as the quarter is coming at end, we expect to see it is this all this data will tell you if we expect to see a positive earnings from some industry or from sector, just like what is happening down here in Nigeria. We have seen the performance of the companies in Q2. Now, since the reform of the inflation of exchange rate, you can see that the industrial sector has struggled. Even as we speak now, they are still in that in that situation. They've not come out of it. That also gives an insight what you should expect in their Q today. And that I always say that in this class, that what we call sectoral rotation will continue in the market as we speak. But you also, as a wise investor, should know what you should do with that kind of information. That this is not a time for you to just say, yes, we are buying stuff for buying sake. You want to be in a good name, because they are good name in the market. Talk like Unilever, talk like Nestle, talk like even a company that I saw yesterday. Where are they going? Even no stock like even what's it called? Um, no Guinness and the Nigeria Brewery, have they come out of their woe in terms of FST? That means such trend might likely repeated in Q3. And that, but if you are in those sectors where you expect to see a positive number, you should know what to do. That's why when I see some stocks that are moving now, I believe that because attention is moving to industry, because funds are leaving some industries selling down until they start seeing positive numbers that will support that period, because we don't expect a company that is posting a loss, and now with the factors that brought that loss, there's no respite, there's no solution yet. But even though the government have promised that in 2 weeks' time they're going to kind of with $10 billion to wipe out their back, to wipe some backlog of effort that is piling up, piled down before now. If that is done, also subsequently we will not see more. Once there's liquidity in that that industry FS market, we might see a kind of a relief. But for now, I think the sector, the company that are operating on a high cost, because especially if you import material from outside, but those that have done backward integration, they might see a little relief. But for those, actually, these are how you invest. You don't just invest for investing sake, like I just said. About talking about what is happening, in the France, in the French, the French zone. Like I said, French industrial output rebounded, and that also has supported the market as we speak, which I've explained. But I believe that all eyes are seeing how we're going to sustain it, in the coming month, because this data for work for the month of July. Let's see the one that will come from August, how it look like, as also we are already in the month of September. But it's a good news, and also, like I said, domestic, gross domestic product in the zone also grew just by just 0.1 in the second quarter, compared to the previous 3 months, where there's a what kind of a decline, but now we're seeing a growth, which is good. Despite there was some downgrade, in this the 2023 market economic outlook or growth for the industry. But I believe that for the zone, sorry, I believe that now we're expecting a kind of a rebound. That would be very nice. Expect that also we saw that Germany consumer price index also rose to 0.1 in the month of August. You can see that I told you that these are the things that also looking at that we have to look at all this to see exactly what happened, and these are things that are also going to influence the activities in that zone. Why the Japan Q2 growth also was a reverse, was a slowdown, even when they were at a kind of a reverse. But we need to also put all this into perspective when we are investing. When we come to what is happening in US also have to speak. We are seeing a slowdown market there right away, and this like for straight 3 days we have seen most of the major indices in US in red. And don't forget that as most of the policy members are saying, yes, they're likely to hike. Some are saying also the data will, but we have seen most of the data that also would determine where they are going. That's why all eyes are still in what's happening in Canada in terms of job. But for US, we have seen data that was guided that they might be likely what kind of another hike again. But all eyes are on what will happen in this month of September. In days or weeks now, the meeting for this September will be on. That is where a major decision will take whether there will be a hike. But don't forget also that what is happening in the commodity market as a result of expected cut, which also by now, because of a concern for global economy, despite the cut, Russia and Saudi Arabia were seeing that oil price after crossing 90 has also pulled back, gradually. For me, it tells you that the concern for global economic growth is part of it because it is about demand. Even though when price is going up, supply is cut. If there's no demand, it will push price down. I think that's what we're experiencing. And also, we saw a stronger word, a stronger dollar. These are why we are seeing that, oh no, these are the things that's also affecting what the commodity market. You can see that most of the other instruments are still in red at this period. These are the things we also should consider when we're taking our what investment decision. For me, if you look at what is happening in Africa, Africa is having a mixed market. For this morning, we're seeing that the market here, NGS, is breaking out as a result of what we're seeing buying interest, in some of the store that pulled back in the previous day when all eyes were on the outcome, especially the outcome of the judgment. Or say that yesterday, despite that was still buying strength, but because the high cap stock or highly priced equity suffered losses, it pulled the whole market in the red of 0.3 down. But this morning, we are seeing a buying interest in major counters that also has supported the market in green. But we have to watch to see when we come to the chart will give us a clear direction where the market is going from here. That's why we don't need to also kind of panic at this point, but rather take advantage of information in the market right away to know exactly what to do as a trader or investor in the market. And like I explained yesterday, since we know your purpose in the market, what you are buying for, if you are trading, if you are investing, you know the kind of strategy you use and what you are buying for, it will go a long way to help you to get to where we are going. That means if you want to have two portfolios to achieve a goal, fine, but know what you are in the market. If you are a trader, if you know, if you are an investor, you should know. So that once you know this, it's going to help you also to know exactly what you are doing in the market. But when you don't understand what you are doing in the market, you are being tossed up and down in the market, it becomes known that you are just in the market for being sake. But if you understand what you want in the market and able to follow it with your trading your plan, it becomes better for you to achieve your goal. And this is part of what we will continue to explain and teach anytime, any day, so that people will know that coming to the market is not just because your friend is there. You must know why you're in the market and what you want to achieve. That will help you to do what? To be in part of what will put you in track to achieve what you want to do. As we speak now, our market is doing 68,000, 127.33, in green, up by 45.22 basic point as to speak right away. If the market have been up with almost like 100 and something. You can see the oscillation in the market, the volatility in the market. As to speak now, market is up by 0.08, which is almost 0.1, because this is what the market is doing. Also, we're still having a negative market bread right away. We're having a 17 losers against 14 gainers right away now as we speak. But if you look at the top losers in the market, we are seeing that the life of Tolerance is leading the pack, followed by Omatech, APC Transport, Thermoswat, and also Resta Express. These are the top losers in the market. Profit-taking activities, especially this Tolerance and Omatech, we are seeing that even APC Transport have rallied this period. And being a penny stock, I believe the market is just taking profit. Yes, Owando again in the news today. Owando is leading the pack this morning, 10% maximum up, 7.70 kobo as we speak, followed by Nimet. Nimet is also up by 9.8% right away. Also in Guinea Insurance. Guinea Insurance has started moving from as low as 20 kobo to this level, and we have to play this stock with caution. We are seeing also MC Nikos and also ICO Insurance at 72 kobo, gaining 5.9 as we speak. These are the leader. These are the top gainers right away in the market on the green side. Also, if you look at the activity in terms of volume, we're seeing that also Owando is leading in terms of volume. Speaking at 29.26 million shares have been traded in Owando, followed by Access Corp 19.6 million shares traded so far at this hour. UBA also 15.5 kobo, 14.38 million shares traded so far, and Universal Insurance also on the top activities chart, and Fidelity at 8.75 kobo, 9.84 million shares for Fidelity. This is the state of the market. Yes, if you look at yesterday, we saw the news that came to the market like I wrote that the through and through information coming from Owando kept the market reacting up and down. We saw a bid of people want to take to sell down after the publication came from and the NNPC said who have approved this one. Who then now we're saying that they are moved to another person. Yes, that they are not against the merger. Nobody's against the merger of the acquisition of acquisition of no um added access by by Owando. You can see front and back. That's what I believe that in Nigeria as investor must digest this information because when you are trading, the difference between online information and real trading. We're able to marry the two, you're able to take advantage of it. That's why you must look at it and see what is happening. But we're seeing volume surfacing heavily in Owando as a lot of that information. Say that there's something in there, and I believe that Owando likely to rethink their plan the listing before now because they can see what others in the market are doing. You can see the life of MRS almost around 100 naira. Connoy has gone as high as 100 naira and above before profit taking brought it down. Even what's it called, Eternal Oil moved from 5 naira to almost 37 while Owando is still crawling. But if they didn't rethink their business, that means they will not have access to market fund again because if you're in this market, you can approach the market for fund. Especially now they are seeing that there's prospect, especially the regulation, and also we are seeing that Owando showing interest in the electric business, electric car with all the Lagos state. We see a lot of things that is happening in Owando. If all these things are next and we start seeing a better bottom line, but as we speak now, I tell you that Owando is not transparent. I don't need to paint it, and that's why we are treating Owando with caution. If you are there in the Owando now, you have to take with caution because they can give you all this news. The next time you see the result is also in badly red. Where others who have seen the impact of crude oil price and also price of price change in a fuel in Nigeria, apart from the effects that are hit them, we expect Owando to post a better number. Even with the FS issue, we saw a better number from Connoy and that of or even Total, apart from internal was. That is what we also should have at the back of our mind. That if you are buying into Owando, know why you are there. If you're a trader, know why you are trading. If you are also an investor, know why you are there. This is why I said let me reiterate that you will know that information that we're seeing and markets is reacting is what is driving things up and down. Let's be carried along so that you won't just jump out of fear, but just watch your position and keep your eyes, your ear in the ground, and also watch the volume because volume speak a lot when it comes to equity investing, which we also see in this Owando right away. Yes, you can see that the market also remain at this consolidation level again, which I showed you yesterday. Now, like I said, market is likely start trending. The market still remain likely strong above 8,000 mark. But you can see it here, but don't forget that where the market is coming from, and correction is possible at this level. Profit taking as we are seeing now, it might be possible because people are beginning the year on a positive note. At this time, they can take profit in their market in the stock they are, and that is part of the market. It's not against anything. Profit taking is not a part of market dynamics, and it's for you that
the time is
you know why
19
you are in the
o'clock.
market. For that, you know exactly what you want to achieve when you are trading or when you are investing. Like I said, a difference between investors, the market, and traders, and analysts also bringing that to add to the market activities. You need to understand all this while you are in the market. But looking at the chart, my chart is still very, very strong, and we're seeing that market is maintaining a strong resistance level at 68,000 cyclical line. But don't forget, I show you that the strong support level is about 67,484. That is strong. A breakdown this year will also tell us that market is going down. We must keep our eyes on all this when we are trading so that we will remain, focused. Let's quickly call our indicators that will help us to analyze the market right away before we call it a day and also get to work to the weekend. But let's look at these stocks that are this indicator that will help us. Let's quickly call the money flow. Very, very important right now. Call our MACD and our exponential moving average. 8. I have to take it 8. 8 is my T line, and which is the blue line here you are seeing here. I will say that this serves as what support and resistance level. As you can see now, I told you why. I said that the chart, the line is still having a support level. Say that market is still strong, even when market is trending, and also this kind of movement is also a distribution phase. Market is not marking up, market is not going up. Like I said, I would like to look down by that, but this time we are seeing profit. That's why it's called distribution phase. Once you bring out the T line down, that is what also confirm a short decline before you can see going for that number. This is what you use to guide the market. Whatever I see the index trading above the T line, there is a strong market. And also you can see that your money flow, yes, remain flat at 78 now, 0.57, and this is what they almost closed yesterday. I can see that we know where it's coming from. And MACD still remain positive, even when we're seeing the histogram is also coming down. But MACD is still bullish of the market right away. For me, there is no fear, but don't be carried away. And I believe that this distribution period bargain opportunity is being open for investors, especially in those first year banks, and also as stock eyes are still on macroeconomic data, especially inflation figure for the data for the month of August. And also, don't forget that this is the month of also MPC meeting. Now that we have seen we have crossed the first order of the the tribunal judgment, all eyes also what the Supreme Court will do. But I believe that the market is still strong. And also, don't forget that the president has gone out about almost $14 billion transaction coming from. If we are seeing more investment coming in, this FX issue will be solved. But I believe for now, for those that are in the manufacturing sector should have to rethink what they are doing there, or less for this merger acquisition that people are taking position in NASCOM and Dangote, because you know where they are going for future investment. But for those that are that this is the time for you to rethink and know what you are doing. But I believe that once government is able to solve this, we'll see a lot of potential. And also, the Nigeria aviation sector is also not doing bad. Especially the service company in that sector, you have to look towards them. The Sky Aviation, the NACO, the Cavaton, we're seeing them. If you look at also the other financial sector where you have custodial investment, you have the life of Africa Prudential, the life of UCAP, and others that are not doing badly. Other sectors like utility, you can see what is happening in transport today, and the banking sector, financial sector, insurance, insurance, what driving them. The premium is a plus for them. Why the banking sector, apart from the exchange forex gain, we are seeing that the interest have moved from for almost how many straight months from 11.5 to almost 18.75. You can see the kind of growth there. That has the work for reflecting on their bottom line, and also flow of funds. As we are seeing that the missed outlook for the fixed income market, really treasury bill and the bond as speaking like is still very very bearish. But the market that looked a bit attractive was the treasury bill. But we are seeing that in the last option it was we saw another slide down from from 13.97 to 12.55 for 3 and 4 days. These are the things that we put pushing fund around the market, so that you should understand why these things are happening. But must see that all this will reflect in the technical in your T line, in your candlestick. Sorry, that will tell you the psychology and the sentiment of the people. But you see a positive sentiment, you see a red candle, the positive sentiment, you see what a green candle. These are the things you also be also looking at when you're looking at your chart. But you must know that looking at your chart is kind of a break in what I'm discussing. The internet is going up and down here. But I believe that the market for the week is likely also to close in green if the market extend what we're seeing now. But because of the internet that's going up, I will likely round up here. But before internet, because I see that it's fluctuating, it's not stable. That's why it's going up and down. But I believe that we should keep our eyes in the market. There's no cause for alarm at all. Let's see what other the top gainers were seeing there. Let's see how the Dangote are coming back. Let's see what is happening there. I saw Dangote sugar on the top gainers chart now. Then let's see, because yesterday is the sugar and also profit taking in all of this sugar and the cement and the Nestle. You can see the chart here now. It has moved up, but you can see try to give sign. After seeing this sign, this candlestick here, so called a hammer. Also gives a bullish signal, which you can see this one try to go up. But let's see how it will close the day. And this for what it did. Can we look at the 1 hour chart to see 1 hour chart is also trading above the T line. Even if you can see it has gone up, you can see that this is a 1 hour chart. Try to take profit here. Watching the MACD money flow is looking up from almost 34.40, and you can see that another move is coming after this thing below the T line for a long time. That is coming up. Once it cross this year and this money flow continue, it's a good sign. That means there's still momentum coming forward for Dangote sugar. And also, one time we see the court order, we're already seeing the scheme, but the price is what the market is looking at. That also want to also keep at. let's look at what is also happening in transport because of our time, and also looking at the internet that is operating. But let's look at, since it's become a bit stable now, let's quickly look at transport to see what is happening right away in transport. This is stuff I want every one of us to look at because there's something in for transport that I believe that we should take advantage of it as investors should take advantage of this so that we too also smile to the bank. Especially if you are thinking medium and long, you can see that on a 1 hour chart, transport is still trading flat on the trading of flat on the T line, but money flow is low and MACD is already bearish. But this is for a 1 hour chart. If you look at the 15-minute chart for transport, it's very important that this time frame will guide us. See also not we are seeing money flow entering. We need to watch this very well, and MACD is still flat and also bearish. These are the things we should look at. For transport, there is potential if you are already in that stock, hold your position. Quickly also look at what is happening in NASCOM. In NASCOM, that's what is happening in NASCOM. Look at it. NASCOM is trading below the T line on 50 day on 15-minute chart. We're seeing the money flow down, but we're seeing also MACD also confirming that on the 15-minute chart. But look at what is 1 hour chart saying. You can see also try to rebound but stay up and down here. But I see that it's still very weak. But you can see that MACD is accelerating up gradually. Once it becomes bullish, so that's what supporting what the market or the price or the movement of the stock. But the major scan is what all eyes have to speak right away. But for me, there's still potential in the market. But for those that really showing sign for the master class, I'm happy that even when we're launching today, we have seen a good response also before we launch. But today we'll be launching so you can see the price and discount, or like I've said earlier, the previous presentation. But I think this time we must take cognizance and take advantage of timing in the market because the last quarter of the year is very active and you have to start taking position ahead of the quarter. You want to see the number first to start buying, start why also start preparing to be in the class or not in the master class so that at the end of the day we also smile to the back. And by Monday, I will review what the market have done or what market have kind of provided those that have attended the first master class in the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter. I see advantage of being in the midst of this community, where we have quarterly invest strategy that for all those that participate, and also have the yearly one for long-term investor that's called Invest 2024. Well, in Invest 2023, we pick stuff for the year, how those stocks have performed, and also the one we have picked for this quarter. By Monday, I will be displaying on the class so that we can see and so that you can take advantage of the coming one to position and also buy into the market, especially knowing that, as I said earlier, that the most active sector, the active quarter is what is this last quarter. You must take advantage, and those stocks are likely to move. Also, have to kick in there immediately before the market start moving for the end of the year. Santa Claus rally, and the Q3 number positioning for end of the year. Everything will be coming. So that already you will be in the market at that particular time. It's better you start making arrangement to attend Investdata masterclass, Q4 masterclass that's coming on the 30th of September. On this note, because I've seen the sign of intelligence for you, I will draw the curtain here, and I wish you the best of luck for the remaining days of today. But I can see that market is despite that it's still oscillating, stay in green, and I believe that it will end in that green. Looking at the hour, and also unless there's it change those highly priced stock go the other side. But for me, there's no cause for us to panic. Those first bank at some 14 in their notification 14 to 29 of September, we're expecting the result, and that also guide us. And don't forget that at the end of the quarter, the dressing will start coming in as well. We'll talk crossing to the second week of the month. For me, don't prepare yourself, and we'll see all this. And also when the after the G20, you can see how the government trying to move investment, and also we also see how they're trying to put that in security improve. These are the things to be looking at that we might see a better market for the government also aiming. They're looking at the market to use the market also to expand the economy and to put things in order. That means the market will just support a positive policy from the government. Yeah, on this note, I say see you and enjoy the rest of your trading day. Have a good weekend. For those for the premium class, the meeting tomorrow as usual by 12. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your trading.